Bonjour! Somebody will know who that is, but I do apologise. So let's get back to how it really is. Hi, so I don't know why I did that. I'm going to be doing a look and a review of my haul. So I'm going to be reviewing these, but I've been really busy this weekend, so I've not had a chance to finish my pile because it's quite a big pile this week. So I'll just show you these other ones first. So I've not read these yet, so I'll do a review of these when I do my next haul, which will be next week, Saturday, Sunday time. Okay, so first one that I've not read but I picked up is issue 3 of Spectrograph by James Tynion IV and Christian Ward, and letters by Aditya Bidikar. Beautiful artwork. Can't wait to dive into this. Like I said, just not had time. I've had a really busy weekend and too many comics to read. So be doing that next week. And also I finally did decide to get this by Danny Warren Johnson, Riley Rossmo, and this is The Moon is Following Us issue 1. I went for the Riley Rossmo cover. Beautiful art by Riley Rossmo and a few pages by Danny Warren Johnson, so again next week for that one. And then we have issue 5 of Helen of Windhorn. Of course, as per usual, gorgeous artwork. So, giving my thoughts on that next week. And then we've got Frankenstein. I was short of this, so I was able to pick it up today. And I got issue 2. So this is the variant cover. I did want to get the other cover, but they'd sold out, so I just had to go with what was available, which is this one. And then another one that I've not read yet, which we'll be doing next week, will be Conan the Barbarian number 15 by Jim Zub and Dougie Braithwaite. Loving Conan, so I'm sure I'll enjoy that one as well. So let's move on to what I've read, and we will start off with DC. So it's been a big DC week this week. So the first one is issue 13 of The Flash by Cy Spurrier and artwork by Ramon Perez. Love that cover. So this ties up the big story arc, what's been going on in the Flash comic from the beginning of Cy Spurrier's run. I really enjoyed this. This kind of made sense of the madness and the insanity that the past 12 issues have been. Very satisfying read. The closest I can put this comic to in superhero terms for a similar kind of vibe is Animal Man, where it's family, but it's not cloying, it's not smothering. I found Jeremy Adams' approach to the Flash a bit too sweet, a bit sickly sweet, a bit sitcom-y, kind of soap opera-ish, but this one is very weird sci-fi, but it all makes sense in this, and I like how they defeat, if you can call it defeating the enemy, and it splinters at the end to set up a new storyline and a new dynamic with the Flash, and I can't wait to read the next issue. Beautiful artwork as well, just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's just a good fun comic. It's a very unique flavoured superhero comic. And I'm glad I stuck with it. I took a break and I'm glad I did, because I've binge read like 3 or 4 issues together, and it makes much more sense when you do it that way. And yeah, I'm invested in this. Can't wait for the next issue. 9 out of 10. And another really strong issue is number 15 of Green Arrow. This is, I think it's Joshua Williamson's penultimate one. He's going to do the annual, and I think part of the next issue, and that's it. Then it's Chris Condon who comes on, who I love. Artwork is beautiful. So as most people know, Green Arrow sided with Amanda Waller, but there's reasons for it, and obviously that will be revealed in the big finale of Absolute Power number 4, and then in the fallout in the next issue of this, and the annual of this. The art, very strong writing by Joshua Williamson, of course, and the art is by Amante Nahupan and Sean Izaki. Beautiful artwork, really nice, really tasty. Good fun superhero action comic, 8 out of 10, really enjoyable. And then this has got to have the nicest artwork in all of the comics from the past week, apart from one, and I'll show that in a bit. And this is Satana number 4, Bring Down the House. People are going on about the artwork in this, so I want to change it a bit. I want to go on about the story, because I feel like Mariko Tamaki's been overshadowed by the art. The art is absolutely gorgeous, but the story is really good as well. The art wouldn't work if the story was shit, and the story is not shit. This is Mariko Tamaki, sorry, has found her character. She's perfect for Satana, and her dialogue works so well with Javier Rodriguez's artwork. His use of colour, his use of ink work, his use of panel work is just top tier. He gives me very much a vibe of Steve Rude. It's got that nice clean ink style, but his use of colour as well is just so unique. He's not copying anyone, and each page is just a delight. Apparently this comic is in the top 10. It's outselling Batman and Superman titles at the moment, and I can see why. It's just working on all cylinders. Very satisfactory story. Really good use of John Constantine. It deepens the lore of their relationship, and yeah, it's so effective. Each page is a joy to read, so enjoyable, but don't rush it. Just savour the colour, savour the artwork, and it's even got synopsis at the back, which I know certain comic YouTubers like. Somebody who's a hog, who's geeky and old, I know that they're quite fond of that. Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. It's just, each issue has just been going stronger and stronger each issue. I think the next issue is the last issue, and I'm going to be sad to that. But even in the comic, like Bleeding Cool, saying they need to do an ongoing series of Satana, and they really do. It's been amazing. 10 out of 10, a perfect comic. Talking of perfect comics, we have the finale of Detective Comics Ram V's run. This is issue 1089. Really nice cover. So the art in this is by... Oh, I hate this when you can't find... I think it's at the back. Yeah, so the art's by Gillian March, who did the Talon series years ago, and he's done lots of Batman-related stuff. And also Christopher Mitten, because they interweave Dan Watter's backup strip with the main story by Ram V, which is really clever how they've done that. And of course, writing by Ram V. This has been a masterpiece. I can't wait to get a free weekend and just reread the whole saga. This is one of the best Batman comics in a bloody long time. It's fantastic. This is what Chip Zdarsky wishes he could do with Batman. Yeah, another 10 out of 10 comic. If you've not been reading this, do get the hardbacks or the trade paperbacks, however you like the collected formats, and read it, because this is when Batman's done right. You really can't beat a comic if it's a good Batman comic. You can't beat it. Talking about good Batman comics, I got the reprint of the Long Halloween. I think it was the Prologue Epilogue, but they now called it the Last Halloween Prologue, which is Tim Sale's last work on Batman. Really beautiful. It was only $3.99, and it's about 48 pages, if not more, of story. And it just shows you how good Tim Sale was as an artist. I'm not going to give it a mark because, like I said, it's a reprint, but it segues into the new series what they've launched, which is a really long title, Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, 1 of 10. And what they're doing, going to have Tim Sale covers, because they found loads of sketches and artwork by Tim Sale of different Batman sketches. But they're having his people who knew him, artists who knew him, or his contemporaries who are doing. It's going to be a 10-issue series, and each issue is going to have a different artist. And this issue is by Eduardo Risso. And oh my god, it's gorgeous. What I like about it, he's got that similar kind of style of Tim Sale, where he's got a mastery of shadow and line. It looks simple, but it's not. There's so much depth to his art, and the colouring by Dave Stewart is just gorgeous as well. It's this Jeff Loeb, when he's in that groove of Batman, it's just a really high quality crime comic, and it's a natural continuation of the groundwork laid by this. Because before Tim Sale died, they were planning on doing this, so this is like continuing his wishes. It's a really sweet, lovely tribute to one of this century's best comic artists. And next issue is going to be done by Klaus Janson, so again, looking forward to that. It's $4.99, but it's 32 pages. There's 24 pages of story, and then you get loads of back matter. You get posters, you get sketch layouts, you get interviews. It's good. Marvel, why can't you do this for your comics? Marvel calls this a prestige comic. This is cardstock, this is floppy. This has 21 pages of story, this has 24 pages of story, and loads of back matter. 21 pages, no back matter, and ads interrupting the flow of the story. This is a 10 out of 10. We'll come to that later in the Marvel one. And then, so DC being a fantastic week, we now move on to Image with Feral, number 6. Oh my god. This is hands down one of the best comics what Image are bringing out at the moment, apart from of course they've got the Ghost Machine universe as well. But there's nothing like this on the bookstands at present. It's just a really good, weird hybrid of a horror story and something like, what was that Disney film? Was it Fantastic Journey, where it was two dogs and a cat or something? But like that, so it's very anamorphic. It's got animals, and it makes it hit home harder because when an animal gets hurt, it's much more gut wrenching than when a human gets hurt. But the thing that's different with this one, it's not humans hurting the animals, thank God. It's animals and this contagion which is hurting the animals. So it's much more savage, much more hard hitting. And this one's kind of like a pause in the story. It's looking at the story of Patch, who was infected a few issues back. So he's basically becoming kind of like a zombie, because it's basically like this kind of rabies strain what's affecting all the animals. But he's still thinking that he is how he was. And so he's trying to find his way home. It reads really quickly, but oh my god, it ramps the tension, and it wants you. It's doing what a good comic should do. It finishes on a cliffhanger, and you want to know the next chapter straight away. So 9 out of 10, really, really good. Moving on to Marvel, and we'll start with the one that I showed you, Wolverine Revenge number 2. I'm going to say it. I like Greg Capullo. I think he's an amazing artist. I think that cover is shit though. It's boring. It's a really boring cover. Great. Got his claw. I mean, there's been so many pictures of Wolverine with his claws out, and just having really sketchy drawings of the people who he's going to get his revenge on with up through his claws. Okay, great, fantastic. But what really annoys me about this comic compared to the ongoing Wolverine comic by Saladin Ahmed, it feels like Jonathan Hickman is just phoning the story in. The art's fine, but I don't think it's Greg Capullo's best. Nowhere near a Patch on what he did for Batman. It was Batman, wasn't it? Or the stuff he did for Dark Horse Comixology, the Demons one. Maybe it's something to do with Rice, and maybe Scott Snyder brings out his artistic chops more. But this just felt very lazy. It's just, each page is just a scene setter. If you ask me the plot, I guess Wolverine gets pissed off, he gets double crossed, he hunts the villains, people die. It's kind of like an Elseworlds. I was page counting. I bought it because I don't know why I bought it. It was on my pull list. I didn't ask for it to be on my pull list. I just asked for Wolverine, but I thought I can't be bothered saying something I don't want it. So that's why I ended up buying it, just because I can't be bothered. I feel bad just saying to my comic, because this be so good, my local comic shop. I feel bad saying, "No, can you put that on the shelf? I didn't want this one." But it's pretty. It's okay. The art's fine, but the story is below average. I think Hickman's not all that great, to be honest. I think he's had his golden years. God's promised so much, and it was a fucking awful last issue, jumping for how many years. It was awful. It was a messy ending to a comic. There was nothing there. There's nothing there. It's like The Emperor's New Clothes. Spider-Man's okay, I guess, but I just found it a bit pretentious. It's not what I want in Spider-Man comic. Yeah, I love the idea of having an old middle-aged Spider-Man, but I want some a bit of zip. It's Spider-Man, for God's sake. I don't need a 24-page, 22-page discourse around the dinner table. I could watch 30 something, if you remember that series. That's what it reminded me of, that issue. But anyway, I don't want to bash him. It's art, I'd give 7 out of 10. Story, 4 out of 10. But like I said, if it's in my pull box next time, I'll end up buying it because I want to help my local comic shop. So there we go. But on a more positive note, is the Uncanny X-Men #3. Beautiful cover. It's got my favourite X-Men. I adore Kurt Wagner, aka Nightcrawler. This is the best X-Men comic on. This is one thing I really want to say about Marvel. What are you doing, Marvel, with your adverts? It's getting worse. Virtually every alternate page or ads, it messes up the flow of the story. I know I swear quite a bit on this channel, and I was doing so many F-bombs just reading this comic. Look, it's page after page of adverts, 20 story pages, $4.99 for 20 story pages, and pages of adverts. For $4.99, why can't they put the adverts in the back? There's no rhyme, no reason, and it's just adverts selling their own comics. I couldn't understand it if it was selling other companies' stuff or products like they used to make money. It's pointless. Marvel, get your act together. You're a messy, messy company. It's a great writing team, great art team, David Marquez. I'm really pissed off they're doing a crossover. It means I've got to carry on with X-Men. Really annoyed about that. But I'm loving what Gail Simone's doing in this. I've not told you anything of the story because I'm ranting about Marvel. It's just Marvel's production values really piss me off, and the way they fleece the fans by charging more if a certain writer's on it. I don't like that practice. So I'm getting on like that then. But yeah, it's a solid story. I like this introduction. They're going to call them the Outliers, I think. The Outliers. It's kind of like kind of new mutants, and there's a really interesting new villain. But why does Wolverine have to be in every Marvel comic, every X-Men comic? It makes no sense. That's my only gripe. That makes no sense. But the dialogue's fun. The new characters are interesting. I'm happy my main boy's on the cover. It's a satisfying read. Gets Gail Simone. I love Gail Simone. When she's on fire, she can't be beat. 9 out of 10. And then another comic I've really enjoyed. Picked this up today. #3 of Namor, or Namor, however the Americans say it, by Jason Aaron and Paul Davidson and Alex Linz. As I've said before, I think the artwork is beautiful. I like how it's got a contemporary story and then a flashback story as well of when he was a younger, more headstrong, just coming out of adolescence Submariner, and this friendship they had a child where now they're meeting as adults as enemies. Again, breaking up with the adverts. But yeah, it's Jason Aaron on Paul. Jason Aaron, since he's gone freelance and not just being bound by Marvel, it's like he's got this second wind, and he's a really exciting writer again. This is really good. I like Namor. He's one of my favourite Marvel characters, and it is savage. It's everything you want. It's savage. It's only going to be 8 issues. I wish it was ongoing. Again, Marvel, why can't you do ongoing series? But yeah, it's a satisfactory read. It's on issue 3 now, so you can still get the other issues. I've seen them at my local comic shop. They're still available. It's a fun read, and it's, if you're a fan of aquatic heroes and you're biding your time for a new Aquaman comic, this is a good stopgap. It's really enjoyable. 8 out of 10. And finally, but by no means least, another Distillery one. It's a new one, issue 1 of The Missionary by Ryan Stegman and Jason Howard. This is kind of like a weird hybrid of Preacher and The Boys and like a sex farce. So basically, it's a war between demons and angels, and humanity's caught in between. And there's this like Joe Schlubb kind of everyday guy called Bryce Hunter. It opens up with, "My name is Bryce Hunter, and I've never gotten a blowjob." So that's our hero in brackets. He basically catches his wife being given a blowjob, or not being given a blowjob, but giving a blowjob to their church's minister, and he realizes that this demon starts speaking to this guy because he's just in shock. He's a real weak guy, and he says, "Come on, let me help you. Let me join you, and then I can make your life better." But while this is all going on, like I said, there's this war between demons and heaven, and like I said, Earth is caught in between it all. And things happen, things progress. The artwork's okay. I do think, again, some distillery books, I think they could work in a standard comic. This one is one of them. The art's not really worthy, I think, of a larger format when you compare it to, say, Spectrograph, which is beautiful in this format. But the story's good. The art's not bad at all, but there is better artists out there on distillery. But it's serviceable. It's okay, but the story's really fun. So I'm definitely invested in it. Really, it's fun. The art's okay. The art's okay, but I just expect more. I expected something more when I saw the cover. I thought the cover's really dynamic. Maybe if they use more blacks. Maybe, I don't know. Just something off about the art. It reminds me of a slightly more scruffy John McCrae, and I love John McCrae, but it just feels a bit below that. But yeah, the story's fun. I do recommend trying it. I know they're $8.99, but you're not getting a comic, you're getting a graphic novel. This is a European graphic novel format, and it's 48 pages of story, big size. I don't bag these because you don't need to. They fit on the bookshelf fine. Yeah, 8 out of 10. So carrying on with that. And that's it. Like I said, I will do a review of these with my next purchases next week. Okay, I hope you've had a good week. Hope you've got some good comics. Let me know what your recommendations are this week, and speak to you soon. Bye.